yeah. We're cruising, we're moving, and we're back. Another brand new episode of the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast. And I'm here with those boys, Jimbo, Coach Mike, and Toad.
What's
happening?
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. Sunday morning.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Monday
morning. Good
See,
afternoon.
I fucked up.
Good
I'm
evening.
still on Hawaii time. It's Monday morning.
Whenever you listen to this.
I'm still on California time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Off
times.
from vacation.
How was
Ready
that?
to get back at it.
Was that a good
It
trip?
was great. Dude, it was so much fun. So much fun. Had a great
Shasta looked
time with
nice
all
when
the-
you shot that pic.
Which one?
Shasta?
Oh, Shasta was beautiful.
Old
It
Shasta.
felt like it was in the 80s, 90s, like low 90s when we were there. It was fucking perfect. A little bit of
Ooh,
breeze.
summer-like conditions.
I mean, and you know, it's a dry heat thing, which I always laugh about, but it's true when it's like 90. Once it hits 100, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, exactly.
When it's
That's
90,
too
you can
fucking
go around
hot.
and do shit. Yeah. So went all over. Took all us around to see where I grew up and meet some of the people that I, find very special. So it
Nice.
was great. Went to where they discovered gold before
Ooh.
the 1849 gold rush. Went to where that gold was discovered. Went to Apple Hill and had an apple cider donut.
I was just gonna say that. So when you went to the gold place, you got to see Todd's house, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, childhood house of Todd.
Yeah, childhood with Todd, discovering gold.
I want gold. Did you go and look
Yeah.
for any gold?
No,
They were saying
Annan.
California's first, Washington's second, and Oregon's third for finding gold right now.
California is just special that way.
Dude, let's go look for gold.
Went to Old Town Sacramento, and Hollis walked away with $60 worth of saltwater taffy.
Jesus.
Wow.
God damn.
Well, they've got like 100 buckets of saltwater taffy, and you go along, and even if you just take like 5 or 6 pieces from each bucket, by the time you get
It
done,
adds up.
yeah, by the time you get done,
Wow.
you've got a giant.
60.
Yeah,
How many pounds was that?
I don't know, probably
Like 20?
I don't know, probably 5 or 10 pounds of candy. Hey,
That's a lot.
oh, he's got his head.
Got a
Hey,
sweet
how
tooth.
many pounds of candy? He doesn't even know. We just know by price. A lot.
Ooh, a lot.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
for
of
$60. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
And
candy.
there's only a handful left.
Did you hand
No.
any out for Halloween?
Believe. No, fuck those kids.
That's
Fuck
right.
those kids.
You're not
Luckily, we
getting
don't.
Especially
$60
saltwater taffy.
Yeah.
That is gold. That
Dude,
shit's
it's-
good.
Yeah, it's quite tasty. I've been even Diet Jim has been tasting a
Right.
little bit of that on occasion.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's hard to find good saltwater taffy.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know where they get it, but the stuff that they have down there is pretty tasty. Let's see. Went out to walked around Old Town, and then discovered that Sacramento has a sea lion.
Ooh,
Dude,
What?
yes, I know.
just hanging out, huh?
It's in the middle. It's in the middle of the state, and a sea lion has swam up
Made its way.
the
the
Sacramento,
rivers.
up through the Sacramento Delta, all the way up to Sacramento, and has made himself a home.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Like we're walking around, and you hear, oh, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Sounds like a sea lion. You go out there, yep, big old male sea lion, sitting on the opposite bank of the river.
Damn. Yeah, those things are huge, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We saw
So that-
one sleeping on the beach, and then they just had caution tape kind of halfway around it and just said to leave it the fuck alone. But
Yeah,
it was
because-
just chilling. It just look at you
because-
and go to sleep.
That's gonna protect you from that thing. coming
Right?
after
Oh,
you.
well, that's how I was like, dude, this thing will fucking, if it wanted to, I bet that thing
Fuck
moved pretty
you up.
quick and rip your fucking face off
Yep, exactly.
and eat you up.
Shush you. Leave
Well,
the
even
cat
the
alone.
otters lately. I think it was at our down at our coast. Took a kid underwater or something. Snatched a kid.
I wouldn't be surprised. Otters are, they
Chasing
look
people,
cuddly.
right?
No, stop it. Leave the cat alone. Sorry. We got the dog
Otters are
over
nuts.
this weekend. They are. Speaking of otters, how about that Formula One race?
Woo! Singapore. I watched it on the
Singapore.
plane on my way
Again,
home.
completely destroys all the fucking drivers.
Oh yeah.
Like every one of them were like, "Oh, I'm barely holding on right now."
Fucking 90 degrees and 90
I
degrees.
love it because the
humidity.
engineers are like, "Don't worry, you're fine.
Just drink some water.
Just
Yeah,
drink
just
some
sip
water.
on
I
your
don't
water."
have. Yeah, I don't have any more. Oh, well, it's okay. You'll be fine.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Watching
when
them
you
try to get
sweat,
out of
open
their
your
cars.
mouth and try and catch it on your tongue.
Yeah. Rene Corner 7 is right. So do you think, first off, has Red Bull been able to get an upgrade to their car that's going to help them keep up with McLaren?
I'm thinking not. It's going to be
I
close.
don't think
but I'm
I don't
thinking
think they've
not.
done enough.
Nope. Lando.
Because the other problem is, especially with Max, is he is going to be yet again onto another powertrain, new engine which is going to put him back. So yeah, they're struggling, and I don't know how they shit the bed so bad.
Yeah, they have not kept that car. Well, let's put it this way. I don't think that car was as good as we all thought. Well, it was, but
It was early.
It was, but I think their little magic valve doohickey getting discovered really they did not recover from that well, and they recovered even worse from finding out that Adrian Newey was going to be leaving the organization, and then completely excluded him from any developments or helping develop the car further. I think that's really something that didn't help them.
Maybe all the drama early too.
Yeah. Everything's snowballing and just domino
it
effect.
just kind of
Yeah, there's a whole
with
bunch of
Hornish
shit there.
and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
like fucking Josh and that, he fucking like all that stuff as well is like they're just there's so much chaos in there. Like even Max is like, fuck, I think I want to get out of here if I can. Like they're just falling downhill. They can't fucking work together at all, and that's the problem. Is we're all working together before, up until this year basically, and it's just nobody will communicate properly because everybody fucking hates everybody, and
Well, they've had another person leave the team too to go to McLaren. Yet another one of the sporting people, one of the major people in their organization is now leaving and going to McLaren next year. So that's at least two of them. There is still backdoor rumors. The rumor mill has it that Max is looking for 2026.
yeah.
Yep, and Aston's eyeballing them hard.
Yep, Aston is eyeballing him. Funny thing is, rumors for Mercedes and Red Bull also. Red Bull is going to take George Russell, and Mercedes is going to snatch Max. That's another rumor out there.
Oh shit.
So there's lots in the rumor mill, not too much in the actual truth mill. Although I did hear that it sounds like Valtteri Bottas is going to be signing with Sauber Audi.
All right.
Okay. Yeah,
Solid.
they're gonna retain him, which is not necessarily a bad idea.
No.
I've also heard that Audi is having a very difficult difficult takeover of the team too. That's just another thing that nothing is coming
Transition,
together.
is it going smooth?
And transition is not going smooth, and it sounds like the Audi is not happy with how the car for 2026 is coming along. Like it is far behind where it should be.
Would that happen to be maybe because they don't care currently, because they're all on the way out? Basically, Audi's coming in, so the current kind of push for a car that they're not going to have for different, like the transition that, so they're just like slacking on it.
Yeah, well, and it all depends. You would think you would keep a lot of the engineers and stuff that know about the car. But who knows? I don't know. There's nothing coming out that's saying exactly what's happening, but it just sounds like development of the car is not going as planned. And you could be right that they're just like, whatever, we're not even going to be here. Why are we even going to try?
Yeah.
So.
Because Audi's got their own fucking group, because their own in-house shit that they want to bring along and transition over. So a lot of people, not necessarily everybody on the team, but a lot of people on the team are already pre-axed, basically. They already know they're out of a job, so they're not going to put their 100% effort in it if they've already gotten their severance pay kind of shit, their buyout packages, things like that, and they're just fucking they're just going to twiddle their thumbs until the end of the contract kind of
Yeah,
thing.
they're going to do only what they have to do.
Exactly.
I could agree with that. What else? There was look at what has happened to Williams.
Mm-hmm. That's
And all that took was having a team principal that comes from a very successful team, Mercedes. James Vowles, who went in there and found out how shitty the organization was, and was like, "Why are you doing things like we're in 1998?" Because they had their. Apparently, that's not how the top Formula One teams work. Like you have, 50,000 parts for a car, and the only way to look it up is going to an Excel spreadsheet and trying to find it.
Yeah.
Like, instead of it just being like a computer filled with the parts list.
The database
that you can go to, not just search the part and it pops up, but you search the part, it pops up, and there's a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Speaking of Williams, though, I was going to say, like, I predict that Red Bull's going to become what Williams was. Like, the whole dynasty collapse, become the fucking bomb. That even, I think, they're all one in a way, but even
You have too much money.
V-Car,
I don't think
the low guys, I think they're going to be better than the main Red Bull fairly soon.
Well, do you know that Christian Horner supposedly this last week said we don't want to let Danny Rick go because we want to keep him as an ambassador, number one, because he's a great ambassador for the team, but also just in case something goes wrong with Checo or Liam Lawson. Now, as a question, I know we usually get into Gran Turismo first, but right now, I think this is more interesting, and then we can bitch about Gran Turismo here in a second.
Oh, yeah.
As a driver, how do you feel just being, treated like, well, we don't really want to use you, but you are, the, second line of defense for both V-Carb and Red Bull, in case those drivers don't work out. How does that make you feel as opposed to being able to just go, I'm going to head to Supercars, I'm going to head to Indy, I'm going to go to IMSA, I'm going to go to WEC, I'm going to go to ELMS. How does that actually make you feel as a driver?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a business. His skills have diminished. He wasn't doing very well. So, yeah, do you want to be an ambassador for Red Bull, or do you want to continue your racing career? And, a lot of F1 drivers think it's a huge step down going to something else. A lot of them don't do it. Once they retire from F1, they're done. So
I think it's some people might be like, yeah, it's like kind of a bit of a say slap in the face, but at the same time, I think it's like, well, as a business standpoint, knowing as a driver that it is a financial business kind of thing. You don't make money unless the team's. You look at, I did so well in my career. I know I'm at the end of my career. You know, it's very obvious even to him. He knows, you know what I mean? Like he's not as good as he used to be. He still's got some skills, but he's not Danny Rick winning races. You know what I mean? Like it's so for him, it's like okay, they want to keep me around because they know that it like the options are out there for other people to come in, fill in any spots in case of emergencies or whatever. But they'd rather have me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of an up, kind of like positive. That because there's all kinds of like young, even veteran people around that are needing seats and stuff or backups, you know, 4 seats, reserve drivers, like, and they still want to keep him around. So to me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm still the shit a bit, you know. And then they're gonna offer like basically like Lewis wanted from Mercedes ambassadorship and money and that, like they're gonna do that to retain him as a member of the team, kind of thing. So it is a bit of a positive, but as long as he's able to still. I would be like, as long as I can go drive here and there and do whatever else I want to do, you know, show up on every other weekend or something and just show my face, do my fucking media shit and whatever. Yeah, I'm down for that kind of thing. Because I don't think he wants to stop driving necessarily by any means. I think he wants to, but still be tied to Formula One because he loves it. So,
yeah, I just, you know. How does it hit a driver's? How does it hit a driver's, you know, ego when that happens? That's the biggest thing.
Well,
and like,
was it his call to step away for a year and a half or 2 years or however long it was?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so too.
So he had one foot out the door, and
yeah.
Already. So when you're like, you know, it's kind of hard when you already have one foot out the door, and then you want to come back and.
Well, and that's what I was saying. Like, he knows he's kind of already at the end. You know what I mean? Like he's known for a bit now, and he's just kind of trying to hold on to it a bit, and knowing that like seats are so limited and you know changing so much that the fact that a team like Red Bull still wants to keep you around, even though you're pretty much done, that is kind of a bit of a boost to the ego, especially at the end of the career when a lot of guys are like just retired, they're washed up and stuff, and they have no, you know, they don't even get to finish it with dignity, kind of thing at all. You know?
Well, what is he like 35? I mean, you got Lewis Hamilton's 40. You know, so I mean, the guy from Assen, he's what, like 41, 42.
Fernando,
thank you. Yeah, you got some guys that are, you know. So racing really well.
Yeah, I was going to say, both Fernando and Lewis, like, Fernando is still not at the top of his game, but at the top of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
he's a top 10 driver.
Yeah, and put him in, you know, here in a couple years, put him in a car that Adrian Newey has designed.
Oh, yeah. If he can hang around that long.
Do you think he'll be around another 2 years?
Man, I hope it's him and not Lance Stroll still around 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't see him being here for the 2026 season.
You don't see Fernando?
It'd be close.
Fernando,
maybe 1 year. Maybe 1 year. One more year extension kind of thing. But, yeah, it's going to be close. And if he can perform fairly well, I honestly think like the biggest holdback on that team is Stroll.
Yeah,
Lando does well every race for the most part. Alonso does well every race for the most part. You know, Stroll is basically shitting the bed every race.
Stroll is like a heartbeat. He's up and he's down. He's up and he's down.
Yeah, he finished strong. He had a strong finish last year. This year he hasn't started well.
No, and it's a lot of it. Man, I saw, you know, I think he might have a little bit more passion this year because he's like might have been in with knowing that Newey was leaving.
Mhm.
You know, there could have been talks already happening. Who knows? And he's
Yeah,
just
true.
like trying to hold on until Newey gets, because he thinks a better car is going to help him.
Well, definitely would.
Well,
Would
wasn't
it?
there even a rumor his dad was going to sell?
Yes.
Well,
His
his dad
dad-
sold a chunk.
Yeah, his dad sold a chunk, not all of it, but he sold a chunk
But-
because it's, you know, he's like, well, if my son's not going to do well, that's the way it sort of came off as. Well, no,
Yeah.
if your son's not doing well, it's because your son's shit, not the team.
Yeah, and he didn't want to lose too much money in the end too, so he wanted to sell before it was too bad. I think even knew he got some chunk.
Yes, Newey does have a chunk of the team now. Here's
But
another.
maybe, that maybe kind of lit a fire under his ass a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, my daddy's not here to fucking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
Save
another
me.
crazy thing. Gene Haas has said he will be investing more money into the team.
Mm.
He is doing now what Gunther Steiner said he should have done
Oh,
last
2
year.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Poor Gunter.
Yeah. I'm like,
Shit on.
yeah. Now the question is the guy that is now the team principal, who was Gunter's second-hand man.
Yeah.
He seems to be doing well. Is that because of him, or is that because of Gunter? How do you think that whole dynamic? Because of his personality, but was he running the team properly?
I think he was. I think it was mainly he was handicapped by finance.
Well,
Like,
and
the budget,
handicap-
he didn't have there wasn't enough budget there to there wasn't the facilities they needed, things like that. Like it's he's been part of so many race teams and he knows the ins and outs. He knows how to run a team. He just doesn't get the mechanical support or the financial support to do it properly. You know what I mean? To get things done, and that's mainly been his problem in most of the teams he's been on too.
And
He's done great with them, but
here's
handcuffs.
a question too, though. I mean, he decided to have two rookie drivers basically on his team.
Mhm.
Was that a money decision, or was that these are two up and coming drivers, and we also have all this money coming from this Russian oligarch and his son? Is that why that was happening? I don't know. I think poor decisions were made. I love Gunter, but looking back, I'm like, some really bad decisions were made. Was that his call, or was that a Gene Haas call also?
I want to lean towards. I think it's a Gene Haas call. I think it
Me
was
too.
a finance
Money.
one rookie drivers low contract, so
Yeah.
you're saving money there.
Well, you have Gunther
Plus,
saying,
you're
yeah,
getting
we need
all
money,
that
we need to
money
invest.
coming in for Buddy's father as well. You know what I mean? So that's pocketing money kind of thing. I think Gunter was basically told, "Here's what you get. Fucking deal with it." And
Make
it
it
was
work.
just too much. And I think it was just too much. And he's like, "Okay, we're doing better. You got to fucking put money into this team. You got to stop being a fucking penny pinching piece of shit." No, we're not going to do it that way. Well, fuck you. I'm out of here because I can't do this anymore. You've been fucking me over, And maybe he was right. Let's start putting some money into this, and
Right.
being competitive. It's too little, too late.
Well, it is too little, too late, because they already got rid of the top driver went to another team.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Hulkenberg left and is going to Audi now, which might have been a really bad choice. But now you're stuck with a rookie driver, and who's going to be the second on that team? Who's going to be the second driver? Because nobody thinks Magnussen's going to be around.
No.
So you're going to have one rookie, and then who else?
Another rookie.
Man, it just
You need some type of veteran. But
you got to have a veteran in there, definitely. He's a great young driver, but he's also a young driver.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
That's the biggest downfall with him. And again, I am so scared. You're going to get a great young driver, put him in an underperforming car, and then for some reason he takes the brunt of the backlash when things
don't go well.
Yeah, things don't go well. Well, it's got to be the driver. Have you thought about your shit car?
Mhm.
Stop blaming the rookie driver for your car.
Yeah.
You know, that's
And that's been the
my
way it's
biggest thing
been, like,
for
for
years.
90% of rookies coming in.
Yep.
You know, the pressure is too much. Because everybody gets the blame. It goes, everything shit flows downhill, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the bottom of the barrel, the guy behind the wheel, especially if he's a rookie, if he's a veteran or you know, what I mean, someone like a Max Verstappen, it's the fucking car. It's you people, not me. You know what I mean? Like that's the small percentage that kind of gets away with it or whatever. But for the most, like people coming into F1 are so overwhelmed by the pressure and that the blame is easy to put on them and they just eat it and they get
Right.
screwed.
Yeah, and depending on the team, you know, if you've got a
Mhm.
team like Red Bull, just if a driver underperforms, it's definitely the driver, and they are gotten rid of immediately. Um, like you have what 2 or 3 races to prove yourself. If it doesn't happen, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Which
Which is why Checo, he's got to be barely holding on.
oh
He's
man,
had so many, you know what I mean? So, like, with a team like Red Bull, you think they would already pulled the trigger, but there's got to be, maybe he's got some kind of clause in there that keeps him from, you know what I mean? As long as he finishes blah, 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 or whatever,
He's
regardless,
still a
they
top 8
can't.
driver.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
Like, as long as he
Well,
keeps, like, maintains at least as, like, some kind of minimum, maybe there's a clause that they can't pull the old Red Bull, you're out of here kind of thing.
here's a big thing: Telemex.
Yeah, that's true.
Telemex is the reason that he's not out
Money,
of there.
money. Yep.
Yep. Um. So let's talk about the last couple of weeks of Gran Turismo. Before now let's talk about races. Now I have not participated in any online racing until this last week. And this last week I did my secret account, and then I did the first round of Manufacturer Series, which we predicted would be coming. Thank you very much. You guys felt about the races over the last couple weeks?
Not terrible.
We had
Not
Brands
great, but
Hatch.
not terrible. Yep. Brands in Group 4
Group
was
4.
pretty decent.
That was fun. That was
Yeah.
good. And then Daytona, Group 3.
Yeah.
So either it was basically dominated by Supras, but the vet was could compete. I went with the vet. I fucking hate that Supra in VR.
How is the
I'm used to
vet?
it.
How is the vet in straight line?
Not as good as the
Not
Supra.
bad. It's like I ran probably, I don't know, I probably did 8 races, maybe 10. As soon as you get into 6 and the Super gets into 6, it just starts walking you and shit. But
If you stay in the
competitive.
slipstream, the vet I think works fairly decent.
Yeah,
but
it does.
if the vet doesn't have the slip, it struggles down the straight. It's down like 5 or 6 miles an hour or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, the Supra will just without if you can't stay close in the slip with the Supra, the vet gets walked easy. But I think it handles a hell of a lot better through the corners and that.
Oh, Todd,
Yeah.
have we talked about your updating your wheel and base and all that stuff at all?
Yeah, it fucking didn't do shit. Didn't do fucking anything. No fucking difference really. If anything, I felt the stock or the old shit was fucking better. Maybe I was just used to it more, but
I think that's part of it there, Todd. You got used to it.
I was hoping that Super Formula and the Red Bull car and those things would be fine with this new update. That there's still no feel. It didn't correct any of that shit.
So this is sort of what I figured out from their updates. I think in slow speed corners in your higher downforce cars, I think they have changed the aerodynamic feel through the corners. It made it feel more like it would when you lose all the downforce. So the car is going to feel slippery until you get speed up, because you're getting weight back in the steering wheel at high speed, and it's immediately going away as soon as you hit your brakes and you start to lose your downforce. I think that's what they did. And yeah, you do lose feel for sure. Like, it's really weird. Number one, on a course that I don't like, Grand Valley, that whole, or that we were doing.
Yep, in the Red Bull, yeah.
You feel fine when you come out of the first corners and you're heading downhill through those S's. You can feel the car through those S's. When you hit your brakes and you go through that niggly little center section there where it's low speed lefts and rights, you can't feel shit.
Nothing.
You don't feel anything because there's no downforce on the car. I think that's what it is. I
haven't had a problem with that since I got this from base from you, Jim. But even in those cars, I do feel the massive difference. Like there's a little bit there, but it's like, oh my god, it really is from kind of for me like almost a heavy wheel in high speeds with the downforce compared to slow corners. It feels like nothing. It's not really a heavy feel, but in comparison, it is. It feels like, wow, that's kind of nice and heavy compared to, holy shit, where am I? Like, it's just swimming. Like,
Yeah, it's very much you lose all feel once you get below, 100 miles per hour. You're below 100 miles per hour and the car just turns into you're guessing where the front end is going to go.
Yeah. And again, cars like that don't have power steering, so you would still have, some steering feel, but it's like it just all goes away.
Yep, completely. You're fine through high speeds and mid speeds, but any low speed stuff, I think that's what they did was they're taking, quotes, the feel of downforce off the car. That's why that's why we don't feel anything, because it doesn't matter. The SFs or any of the high downforce cars, as soon as you get into the tight stuff, you don't feel anything. The reason you don't have a problem with Group 4 and Group 3 as much is because they are a mechanical car. A lot of mechanical grip.
But it does still feel in Group 3, you still do feel that loss a little bit more.
Yes, you do.
You still feel like in the slow corners, like even like for Dragon's Gardens there in Manu, especially that like hairpin after the S's coming onto the back straight there.
Yeah.
That corner there, the car was like always felt like woo, like not much of hold it. Like every other corner wasn't bad, but that one especially because it was so slow that it was just like you could feel the car kind of get really light.
Well, and anytime, so I was having issues with that hairpin because, every time you went to accelerate, it was just severe understeer through the quad left-hander too.
Yeah, but the Group 2 cars feel fine. They're heavy downforce and they're fine. So, there's something in their
algorithm. Yes.
I think
I
don't do the multipliers and stuff like that. Because the way they set the downforce, like in the algorithm, like so much pressure compared to this, for these cars. Group 3 is ×1, Group 2, 2,
right,
and so forth, whatever hypothetical numbers or system they use. And then when you do that kind of thing, and then now we have to do it as losing downforce and slow, times negative, whatever. In that kind of range is too open, you know what I mean? Because it's such a high downforce to such a nothing, as compared to other cars. They got it kind of balanced enough that it's not so drastic a change. So they got to bring that number back in a bit, or multiplier back in a bit, kind of thing, to balance that car. Because it's the Red Bull and Super Formula is the only ones that are kind of problematic that way. Because even Todd said, like Group 2, Group 1 aren't too bad at all. Group 3, Group 4, all that stuff is pretty decent overall. It's just those two types of cars. So.
Well, I do like that with the new update, we got a new race. No new race car with the update. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
How well, there's a big discussion on Mullet's channel about it. His Discord channel.
Discord, yeah.
Yeah. And I understand where guys are coming from. Yes, it costs a significant amount of money for the licensing of cars. I understand that. And then it comes down to the debate of, is it fair if people are willing to pay for a DLC, but other people can't pay for it? So we get a DLC that comes through and it's $11, let's say. And you get a track and a couple of cars that are updated. Is that fair to those people that can't afford it? Well, I say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like iRacing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You want it, you find a way to get it. If it doesn't interest you, then don't buy it and whatever.
And this would for me, we always talk about having a race D as an endurance race or something that's different. Mike and I had a big talk about it this last week. I think, for those people that have the DLC, and so you get to drive, you can drive those DLC cars on any track no matter what. So you can participate in C, but then you have race D, which has,
Dynamic weather.
Yep, dynamic weather, has all of the tracks that are available. And here's the thing with dynamic weather. I think they need to stop doing dynamic weather as not as a whole, but I think dynamic weather should be also what is happening at that track at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. That's a lot of
tied
technology.
into the actual weather.
Yes,
well,
but that's a lot of technology too.
It
was, if you look back to the launch of the game, when they're talking about the dynamic weather, I'm pretty
it was
sure
supposed to be tied in with the weather.
PD
I
in
thought.
that release it was supposed to be localized.
Weather, yeah, actually.
Well, that hasn't happened.
If we do the Nürburgring in fucking January, they can't have it, 30
snowing.
degrees. That's what the temperature is in fucking Germany. But you could have it cold, just above freezing, and
Well, and simply you can just turn that off too.
Yeah,
you can't just turn that off. But why not keep live weather where it's sensible?
Yeah.
Because
not every track is dynamic anyways, so
make
sure maybe put your dynamic weathering into tracks that you don't have to worry about it being a fucking blizzard for half the year,
and they need to stop only having dynamic weather on the 4 tracks that we get weather on. Yeah. You should be able to have weather on every track. If you are going in and having a customizable race and you say, yeah, I want to have rain at, Monza, or rain at, a track that's in
Laguna.
You should be able to do that, but they don't allow you, especially Laguna Seca. It's on the ocean. It gets rain.
Yeah. Even though it's sandy, still it's not a desert. It's a fucking it's a course.
It's a beach.
Yeah.
If
it was localized weather and that as well, that would be really great, because I'd be like, okay, well, I have these 3 today, open my weather on the fucking Google and be like, all right, well, it's fucking pissing down in Germany right now. Fuck, I don't want to go to Nürburgring and see. Fuck it. Oh, it's fucking sunny in fucking Brazil. I'm going to Interlagos,
Right.
Fuck that. That having that a deciding factor, you'd be able to check the weather of where the races are being held and be like, oh, fuck yeah, it's sunny right now. Fuck, I'm going to Nürburgring. Fuck this.
Right.
It's been raining all week. I'm getting a dry race in, motherfuckers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, they're fucking idiots. So we only got weather on all these tracks, but we only use 4 of them.
Yeah, there's only a handful of tracks that have dynamic weather.
And one of them they barely use. Like High Speed Ring has weather, but they barely use that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sim Racing World has passed Kaz up, and he needs to step away or give more control to people who are more into sim racing, I guess. Yeah, just the lack of cars and race cars especially is disappointing.
Well, it is. Like you guys just said, like at the beginning, it was like, well, understand that race car licensing is in that compared to road car, but if you take all the money from the 50 fucking Toyotas and 50 fucking Nissans that you fucking put in the game that nobody fucking wanted, guess what? You probably could have afforded 4 or 5 fucking race cars. You know, like that's
again,
the other thing too that's annoying.
The GT series outsells everybody, so money is not a fucking issue. You're supported by Sony.
Yeah.
They started, Polyphony Digital, an offshoot of it. Money's not. They're just fucking lazy.
Yeah. In the end, that's Well, Kaz is like, this is my game, and I'll do it the way I want. Fuck everybody else. Like he doesn't care. The honest thing about PD is they don't give a shit about the people that are playing the game.
They don't.
If they did, they would look at the fact that there are, I made a comment on the release of the new update. And I said, good job at not listening to what your racers want. Yeah. And there were so many comments like that on that tweet. Like I would say 75% of the comments are like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But then, I mean, people do a video on the new update and I'm so happy for this new bus, and I love having the new fucking
those are pandering to views.
Those are
shit. But those are people who don't like hanging out and driving that car for whatever fucking rhyme or reason. It's like I understand that you have to pander to that crowd. I understand that you have to pander to the people that want to do scapes, but it seems like they more so than the actual people.
Absolutely, like that's what I was going to say. But they've pandered to all of those people and have completely lost the fact that they're people that want to race cars and want to race, and want race cars, not just a fucking bus and yet another Nissan GTR.
This is probably the last GTR.
Because it's the 2024. We're not going to have another one until next year, the year after.
So I mean, already. But it's
the only one missing.
Again, I think e-racing, sim racing, whatever you want to call it, has passed Kaz up.
But still, we have to look at. Okay, so this is me playing the devil's advocate, but Gran Turismo is the only game that you can really hop into and very quickly be racing online.
Yeah, it is.
You can't, it's not that easy it comes down to the seriousness of iRacing and Assetto Corsa.
Yep.
Like, you have to be good to be able to go up. It is not easy to get up. You have to do lots of challenges to get better. Yeah. I'm just waiting on ACC, and honestly, if ACC goes back to or is able to use the PSVR 2, I'll be there. I'll be there all day long. All day long.
The new
in VR.
Of course, the Evo has been delayed till I think January 16th, and it's only on PC.
Yeah, that's Assetto Corsa though. That's a different game completely. They put that on PlayStation, and it's just a base game. But the PC is like it's that other game, BM.
No, it's Assetto Corsa Evo.
Assetto Corsa though. It's a different game completely to ACC. Physics are similar, but it's the sim version of like Forza, like kind of thing where you can mod it, things kind of thing for that kind of thing. Not the Forza Motorsport Racing, but the actual Forza open world games and shit like that. That's what Assetto Corsa is, more like that as opposed to like ACC or iRacing. You can program people, or on PC can openly program and make cars and put cars in the game. Good game. I'd love to be able to play it on PC. But it's the ACC2 when it comes out with the VR. It's going to be game
Yeah,
changing.
if it comes out with VR, it'll be a changer. It really will be.
Yeah.
It's
Speaking of
just
VR, do you guys know that there's over 50,000 PlayStation VR 2 users now, but the new mod? People using the PlayStation VR on PCs now like crazy.
oh yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Well, it's funny because I've got a buddy who has the Oculus or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and um, he uses it to do helicopters and airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's a piece of shit. He goes, I paid, $3,000 for it or whatever, and he goes, it's a piece of shit. He goes, it's not. He goes, I have a very powerful computer and it has serious issues.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, it's either because he's a dummy when it comes to setting it up, or it actually isn't as good as as they want to charge for it. Sorry, it might only be $1,500. I don't know. He said it was really expensive and it's not working the way it should.
They are for the most part, and you have all this other gear. You got to put sensors up everywhere and things like that. And with the PSVR, it has all the sensors built into the headset.
Yeah.
So you don't need all that. It can 3D scan the room itself, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm hoping it's never going to happen. I'm glad that Todd is finally on board with the futility of hoping for something. And
many
it's
shit sandwiches from GT.
too many shit sandwiches from GT makes Todd give up, which is it's sad. It is because we want this to be the best game.
Yeah.
And they are doing everything they can to make sure it's not the best game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like they just...
Well, again, they did that 1.49 update that nobody was fucking asking for, and it fucked everything up, So, they're just going backwards.
I can tell you, watching dudes driving the Porsche, that thing is out of control.
Mm-hmm.
It is out of control because there's a guy that I've battled and I don't like. He's a dirty Argentinian driver, pushes people out of his way, but he's also fast. Watching him in that Porsche, that thing was out of control through 3/4 of the race. Like he's immediately starting to whip around on him.
Yeah.
That's what Digit is racing. He raced it yesterday, and he was fucking flying in the fucking Porsche.
Well, we know Digit is also a bit of an alien too.
Yeah, he is.
So he's the type of guy you can put in any car, and he just fly. You put us, and yeah, I say that we're average upper end drivers in these cars. We're the average before the alien, right?
Yeah.
It is not easy for us to drive that car, and it is on display. When I raced with the British guys, a couple months ago, it was that way.
Yeah.
Like it was like that car was out of control. I'm driving the AMG and I'm under control, and every one of those Porsches is just anytime in a braking zone, the rear end wants to come around.
Yep.
And I'm starting to understand the physics a bit better and how to drive the cars a little bit better. And yeah, your braking zone is a lot longer. Your acceleration out of a corner, you better have that wheel straight, otherwise that car is going to turn around on you. So it is smoothing out my inputs. I think honestly, Todd, the reason that you're doing fairly well with the physics update is because you're much more smooth on the brakes and much more smooth on the accelerator. Like that's the reason your tires also last longer than everybody on the team too, is you're a very smooth driver. I mean, watching you yesterday in the Corvette just sort of solidified that in my brain. It works. The update works better for you because you're a smooth driver, and I'm not. I can admit to that. I'm a jump on the brakes, jump on the gas. And now I'm not able to do that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It'll turn me into a better driver.
Yeah.
I'm getting smoother and smoother myself too. So
yeah, that's and that was the thing yesterday. I hopped in the Honda, and you're like, fuck. It's that Honda really demands, especially out of a corner. you better be sneaking on that accelerator until you know that you're not going to spin around in a circle. Because it's and I think a lot of it has to do with turbo cars too.
Yeah.
Turbo cars in this game have a weird, where they hit their power is at a weird point, and it goes from nothing to a full acceleration really, really quickly. So I think used to just doing lots and lots of on or offline racing is helping.
Yeah.
It's getting.
That's why I find, like, especially myself too, is that sometimes I don't want to race, but I drive just to keep getting the more fluid with the changes because I still need lots of practice, obviously. And I do find that those offline races, even though the AI is terrible, and they'll fucking take you out constantly, it seems like. I don't know what they've done to the programming of the AI, but the AI is absolutely filthy in the offline racing.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like, it literally is. It's so fucking bad.
you'll be going down a straightaway and go to pass a guy, and as soon as you get past his front end, he will take your rear end out from underneath you. He will pit you.
It's like
happened more than once.
Yeah, it's retarded. It's just like, what the fuck? And I understand in corner areas, like sometimes they kind of get locked on the race line the way AI is at times, and they just kind of turn in on you and that. But I've had it happen too, where it's in the straightaways, you're off the race line, passing them, and all of a sudden they just swerve into your back end and pit you. It's like, what the fuck just happened? You dirty pieces of shit. It's fucking brutal at times. But it's not every car. It's just like certain ones every so often are just like they put a filthy driver in. Basically, maybe it's to prepare you for online. All right, just watch this. This is going to happen to you when you race somebody. Oh, see ya. It's brutal. Yeah, but it's good for practice for sure. I use it to, really kind of learn to be a little more aggressive than I used to be. And being able to make and practice making moves around the outside or, getting in on the corner a bit better, against AI because I know their typical path they're going to take. So it kind of gives me that kind of practice where it's always unpredictable online. It at least gives me that, confidence of going in under braking hard with the new pedals and everything else that I can, all right, stick it, go. So
yeah, I use the offline racing just as a tool to just get used to the new physics. Like, that's what I've been doing the whole time, is just get in there, figure out what the new breaking points are, figure out how things are feeling. It's weird because Group 4 definitely didn't take as much of a hit at all.
No.
Like, Group 4 still feels like Group 4, still feels really good. I mean, let's be honest, that the Group 4 time trial that they had was sort of a joke. I mean, it was 2 laps the first time I tried it.
Yeah.
To get gold, and then it was 1 lap.
Yeah.
Like, it was not.
Yeah, I never even tried that one. What was that, Grand Valley or?
No, it was.
No, that is. Well, I could tell you.
It was the Mitsubishi Evo one, right?
It's the Evo, and it's at. No, hold on. Give me 1 second, and I'll tell you. It is. It's still there, and you should go and do it, Todd, because it's an easy 2 million.
No, now it's at.
No, it's at the
Watkins
Glen short course. Yeah, that it was ridiculously easy.
Yeah, I believe I just squeaked a gold in like the first or second lap, and then I did a third lap and killed it by a fucking mile.
Yeah, I just go in as soon as I get the gold, I'm done.
I literally did it on all my accounts just to get I was like, oh fuck, this is super fucking easy, fucking 2 million, bam, 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 all accounts got 2 million.
Super duper easy. So I would go in and do it just because it's easy money.
That one technically people, all those grinding videos you see, how to make so much, do this and you get this much money an hour. Dude, you can go in and do a time trial, take you fucking 2 minutes, and you got 2 million.
And you got 2
Where else can you in the game make that much that quickly? Like, think about how that's $60 million an hour, realistically. You know what I mean? Like, compared to their 100 or 1 million.
But you only get one shot, so you can only make 2 million.
But when you look at the ratio and the rate of it, like, why aren't like more people pushing the time trial? Like, you only see a few people talking about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
taking
do the
those little
time.
times.
Yeah, do the time trial. It's a lot of times, I don't get gold every single time.
No.
I try my damnedest to at least get silver.
Hmm.
I was able to get my time trial down in the X19 to a silver time. There was no way I was hitting a gold on that. No way. A course I don't like and a car that doesn't feel right. There was no way I was hitting the gold on that. But I did get silver. It took me a while to get to it. And it's fairly easy money, but I will say I never touch the street cars. Never do. I think
do a little,
there's
but not much.
I still think there's a huge issue with their weight transfer. I think it's a little overwrought with weight transfer. It's like, oh, this car, and then suddenly it drives like a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, they did do, with this new update, they did do some changes to the weight shift.
Okay.
So they did address that. I don't know how much into all of what extent, what cars, what class of cars, but there was a mention of that in the new update.
Weight transfer. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
We've adjusted
good.
the control settings for some cars, measure front lift during cornering, measure oversteer during braking, adjusted tuning of the braking system, and weight shift. Steering controls on the podium have been upgraded, new settings, and apparently they've extended the painted surface for pit entry at the Edgar Norwan reverse track layout, just so you can see it a little bit clearer on a track nobody fucking likes.
Well, yes, of course, you need to do that. I hate the fact that they're putting in that in almost all the races too. I'm like, I fucking hate the track. It's not a racetrack. Go in time trial all you want, but it's not a racetrack. So speaking of tracks that you don't want to race on, let's talk about the little quick league races we're going to put together. 5 races, 2 weekends.
Oh, yes.
From the way it sounds, from just feedback, I'm thinking first couple weeks of November.
Okay.
And I think noon o'clock works better for a lot of people.
Noon o'clock? Okay.
Yep. For our British friends.
Okay.
I think starting at 8, because it's honestly not going to take that much time. I also think we should mention the first car that's going to be used to make sure that everybody has it and can acquire it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I just make sure everybody, because it's something that if you skipped, you might not have it.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it. So I
right.
think mentioning it to give everybody time to maybe have to do the races or whatever you have to do to unlock it or whatever.
Right.
Because if it's not available, used or whatever, that might be the only way to grab it. So.
Right. Exactly. So the first car in the first race is going to be the Volkswagen Beetle, the 1960, was it 66, I think?
Yeah.
The regular old school Beetle will be the first car.
Now, if you don't have it, and you should, most people I believe should have this, unless they've sold it, because it's an early menu book to unlock online, I think, but you can get it from the menu books.
Yes. So you need to, because if you don't already have it through books or through purchasing it, you need to look into getting it. Now, I will also mention that this car is going to be highly modified. So it's not going to be your regular Volkswagen.
Mm-hmm.
And we will send out the modifications you will be needing for the car a day before.
Yeah.
And
we're not crazy, really,
no,
but it's just it'll make the race very entertaining.
Nobody is getting any practice on any of the tracks at all. Period. You do not get any practice. You will be told the modifications you can have for certain cars, but yeah, you don't.
Only one car. This is the only car that's going to be modified.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah, so
And we haven't been practicing. All we've done did a couple laps of different car settings and like setups just to figure out what works, and we did limited timing of that. So even us going to be very new to it.
And it was like a month and a half ago when we did it. So
I almost forgot another comment.
So
Sorry, me.
there are no so there will be no advantages on our side.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember what the tire strategies should be or anything else.
No. Yeah, you're giving out too much information.
Yeah.
Just make
I
sure
don't
you
know
got the
anything.
Volkswagen Beetle.
All right. Too much information. Sorry about that, Mike. So get the
All right,
Beetle, and we will follow up with anything you're going to need the day before the race.
Is Sean with us still? I haven't heard him from.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Okay.
You just sit back and
Yeah.
he's still trying to recover. He's still trying to recover from that Hawaiian vacation
Hawaii.
at that.
And I'm
Beautiful
trying
resort.
to check these settings on Discord because we're gonna have to play with some stuff.
Uh oh. Well, we apologize if it's bad
What are next
audio
week's
this
daily
week.
races?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Let's just get to that quickly. So we're going to have a new interesting week, I think. Daily A is going to start off at Interlagos on the race medium tires. My prediction, this will be a Group 3 race, about 4 to 5 laps. No strategy, just one of those basic sprints with no DR, but SR on. Race B is going to be at Trial Mountain Circuit Reverse on the Racing Hards, 1 and 1. I believe this will be Group 4 cars. Fairly positive that's the case. And then in about 4 to 5 again, maybe 6 depending. And then Daily C is where it might be a little interesting, as we are going to GP on the Racing Soft Tires at ×3 tire and 1 mandatory pit stop. And I believe this is going to be Group 2 cars.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Because we did that a little while ago.
That'd be nice.
That would be fun.
Like the Group
If
2.
I'm not mistaken, we did Group 2 at Nürburgring about 3 months ago or something like that, maybe. So it's going to be an all race car
We did
week.
Fuji. Then we
Yeah.
did.
Maybe it was long. Maybe it was longer to go there. Like Nürburgring Group 2 car race there a little while back.
But like that'd be good.
Yeah. So yeah, Group 3 race A. I'm pretty sure we always do Group 3 for Interlagos. And it's on race mediums. And then Daily B is always race hards, it seems, for Group 4 at Trial Mountain as well. And then, whenever they put a Racing Soft on Daily C, it's going to be a specialty car, and most likely going to choose a little bit more suiting to the track compared to trying to throw a Super Formula F1 on, or Group 1 on there kind of thing. So I believe it'll be Group 2, especially with the new slipstream with not as much dirty air makes the cars a little bit more racier too. So.
And then don't forget on Saturday, Trial Mountain Group 3 for the Manufacturers Cup.
Yes. And how long is that one again?
Oh shoot, that is
Let me pull up my notes here.
22 laps.
Oh,
Yep.
another long one.
That's
Nice.
a long one.
Race
6 tire.
×6
Wow.
tire, racing mediums, and two pit stops.
2 mandatory
Nice.
stops. Yeah.
Fuel doesn't look
Required.
like an issue. It's ×1,
No.
so it'll be just a tire strategy race. When do you pit? When do you? And I honestly think this is going to be one of those ones to say what your max tire wear can be for a set of tires, because you're going to want to get out of traffic as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you can short stint the first or long stint the first to get out of that traffic, more than likely short stint it, do a long one at the end, kind of thing, when the light fuel load, because you will burn off quite possibly about close to half a tank by the time it's done. I'd get the hell out of traffic as fast as possible.
Yep. Take advantage of getting in some clean air and not having to, because even though there are those 2 long straightaways, those curvy bits are not easy to pass in. So
Yeah.
I think there could be advantage to possible advantage if you have the Supra here.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Supra still struggles on tires, and there is a lot of
That is true. It's going to be
lot
some
of
good tire
weight
wear.
shift, high speed, and like that's really going to kill the Supra. Like that last or first sector, going through there and then through the tunnel and that, like the Supra's tires are going to struggle until it gets to that straightaway, cool them down just a bit, and then you're back into
Is anybody
the corners
on
of it.
PlayStation right now? You could probably look at the leaderboard and see what the top cars are.
Oh yeah, hold on. That's a good suggestion there. RC. Oh, it is a mixed bag. RCF, M6, AMG, BRZ, Supra, 911, M6, GTR, 911s. 1, 2,
I wonder.
3 of them in the top 10 or top 12.
I wonder if that what they did with the brake shift, and like all that the weight shifting and on the new update, if that's helped the Porsche.
Possibly.
Because it was shit, obviously, and then they did that race a couple weeks ago where they had settings available. I think it was Deep Forest, and out of nowhere, Porsche became non-existent to the most dominant car for that week because settings were allowed. And then now they do a update with a small change in the physics, and now the Porsche is back.
Yeah, it is
it
is all over the place. It is all over the place.
Yeah.
Top 50, I think you see almost all the cars in the top 50.
Is there a Corvette?
Oh,
Probably
like I said, almost all the cars. No, I do not see. I do not see
Hondas.
the Vet. I see the Honda. The Honda is here.
yeah.
The Vet is here. The Citroen. The Citroen is there. The M6 GT. Well, there are tons of M6s.
Here's my question: is the Alpha there?
No,
Yeah,
the Alpha is not there. Like I said, it does struggle. That's too bad.
Because a race like that would be, because that Alpha is so good on tires, would be one to get out of traffic if it could hold some speed. But
there is, man, I don't see. You have to go way down the list to see any McLarens. I don't see a Corvette in the top 100. There's no Corvette and no Alpha in the top 100 right now.
not surprised for the Alpha.
But I only saw one or two of the NSXs.
Yeah. In them.
Yeah.
Speaking
And again, not everybody
is
has done the time trial. That will change throughout the week, but
yes,
it gives you a good idea of where.
Yeah. Speaking of Hondas and people being like experts at them, I've noticed one of the experts have switched manufacturers for this one.
Oh, who switched what?
Gallo.
Gallo.
Yeah, he went to GTR.
Interesting.
Yeah. For someone who has literally been locked in on Honda for Manu for time in every race he can, he's switched. It's an exhibition, obviously, so maybe fucking around a bit, having fun. But he's no longer driving Honda, which is rare for him.
Yeah, it is. All right.
Maybe it suffers too much.
It might.
Yeah.
Well, it felt good to me yesterday, though, so I didn't mind it. Did not mind it. All right, boys. I think that's about it, unless somebody else has something.
Just congrats to Tidney getting 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Tim. Oh,
Super GT collapsed lung. Hopefully he's doing well.
yeah, that's a weird one.
That's crazy.
Walking around with a collapsed lung for like 2 months. And then we've got IMSA, Petit Le Mans next Sunday.
Yeah. That'll be great.
End of the season. And it's always, that race is always an exciting race. So
Yep. Oh, and
on that bombshell.
Le Mans Ultimate. I don't think it's going to be coming out for a console. company's already going down.
Going under.
Looking into selling. People have been let go. So yeah,
It's kind of
that game
Well,
just
no.
launched not too long ago, a couple months ago.
Well, that's
Already
no
shit the
Yeah,
bed.
they get
too
enough
much,
sales.
too
and-
much, like lack of money that put into it. They put too much into it, and didn't get anything in it. Really, because it didn't catch on too overly well. Some people did it here and instantly died. So
Yeah. Well, too bad for them. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we'll see
Have a
you
good one.
next week. Peace.
see ya.